Okay, so here's how to find student EOC scores in Test Hound if your district uses Test Hound. You're going to go over here to Students, and you're going to choose EOC Tracker. I've chosen to put my face in here to cover up the student information so that we don't share anything we don't need to share, but you would click on EOC Tracker here, and it's going to come up, and obviously it's behind, and you're gonna export it to Excel and save it wherever you want to save it. I've already saved it, so I'm going to pull that sheet up here. I'm going to close that, make sure I'm not sharing information, and pull mine up. Here it is. Shrink myself back down here. Okay, so this is how it comes out. Obviously the student name has been hidden. So here's all the information that we have, which is great. I like this version particularly over Eduforia because it has all the student special programs in here. And what I like to, the first thing I like to do with this is hit the corner and do a data sort to get all of my special kids into one column instead of 4 or 5. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to sort it Z to A. All right, so those are all my special education kids. So I'm going to add a column, left click, and then right click and click insert. And I'm going to name all of these SPED. Oh, I need to get my colors back here. I'm going to just put SPED here. And this will be Special Pops. And I know I can drag it down, copy it, and drag it down to where it's true at the end here. All right, so, and I'm gonna paste that. So then those are all my SPED kids, and I'm gonna try to combine all these other columns, do the same thing with the LEP column and the 504 column so that I can put it all into one. We can also do a filter instead. We're going to clear that out. We only want the ones that say true. Okay, now here's an interesting thing that pops up. I know that these kids are true for special ed and LEP. So they're going to have to be called SPED/LEP. This is important for when you're working with accommodations because you need to know who to go to and talk to about what they have. And then the rest of these here are just regular LEP. All these true. So I'm going to copy that. Click and drag it down till the truths disappear. And paste it. There's my LEP kids. Okay, and one thing when you're always doing this, make sure that you unfilter what you filtered by choosing to have everything re-added into the column. All right, then you can do the same thing with 504. You only want the truths, not the blanks. Okay, and here we don't have any, we have a little bit of crossover with a couple of LEP kids. So what I would do is I would grab the truths out of this column, right? And now I know that these are LEP and 504. So they're going to be called LEP/504. All right, and there's that. Now I need to go get the rest of my 504 kids. Okay, so here they are. But you got to be careful that you don't override this here. So you got to be just a little bit different for this one. These are my 504 kids because it says true here. I'm going to copy that, pull it down until I run into that other data. And I'm just going to paste there. Copy this again. Drag it down until that other one appears. Oh, I guess it's not there. Paste it in. I got my 504 LEP. Oh, I missed one here. So I'm just going to copy that, throw it in there. make sure I didn't. Here's another one. It's important to know where they belong. And it makes you a better testing coordinator knowing who all your kids are. All right, get everything back here. So my next step, so we've got SPED, LEP, 504. Those are the big ones. The other two columns are GT and ALT. I think ALT is good. It's good to know because they're not going to be EOC testers. So I'm going to grab those. And obviously all the ALT kids are also going to be special ed. So these will be special ed / ALT 2s. That helps you when you're looking to test kids, find out who your kids are and what lists they're on, and just see like, this is what I have, what do you guys have? And you can match it up really quickly. Okay. So data, page home. I'm gonna unfilter everything. So we're just back to normal. And there's all my kids of what's going on with them. And this is I would copy this here and throw it into a Google Sheet because I prefer to work in Google Sheets. It saves all your edits and you can always go back. So just copy it here. Get back into, let's get in here, our practice sheet. I'm going to insert a new sheet. I'm going to right click and paste it in. Wait for it. It kind of takes a little bit. It's a lot of information. And you can tell, on this one you can tell it's thinking because the color's not changing here. So there it is. And now you have all that information and you can start, you can grab columns and move it around what you think is more important. We don't need all these other columns now, so I'm going to get rid of them. Highlight them, right click, and delete them because we already have all that information here. So it's great. You can just start playing around with it the way you want to, make it look pretty, all this kind of stuff, center it up maybe, however you like it. And then just another thing here. So this obviously isn't all the information. There's kids who have come to the school that we haven't found their information on, and this is where you start filling the holes. I think it's important to fill the holes from 12th grade down to 11th grade, because it's graduation. So I'm going to go ahead and filter this for my 12th graders. Sorry about that. We'll hide that. Back up here. Clear it out. Pick my 12th graders. Now I'm going to want to start looking at holes. Like, why are there holes? I always start with algebra. Clear out all the scores. Choose blanks. And hit OK. So here's, that didn't work. Clear them out. Choose the blanks. So now these are on my 12th graders with no algebra score. Now, special ed alt kids, they're not going to have an algebra EOC score, so that makes sense there. But you're going to want to find out where or why this information is missing. And the easiest way to do that while we're in here is going to the state system. Like if you were a parent who was going to look up a score of your child, if you don't know their code. Sorry, this is the wrong one. It's this one. You would go here. So here's the website, obviously. You can also just Google star EOC score lookup and it'll come up. But you would want to do this, and you put the student's social security number in there, their first name, and then their birth date, and you would hit go. And it's going to bring up their star history. It should be pretty accurate. Sometimes kids move around and they don't have their social security number and they have an S number. So that's when you have to start doing some digging with the registrar. But this is what I use to look up all my missing scores. It's a great resource as long as you have access to student social security numbers, which you should have. You should be able to, because that's how we register kids for testing too. So you should have access to that. So there's just so many things you can do with it, but this is the base of the tracker. And then you can add all the other columns, which I'll show you in some of the other recordings.